Good up, everybody. Gather, come join. One man. Have you missed me? Gather, come join. One man.
Missing someone. Missing someone. Missing someone. With all your heart. Missing someone. With heart. How much you listen. And you listen. And you listen. And you listen. And you did it right from the start. And you did it right from the start. Missing someone is as normal. Missing someone and missing someone is as normal. Missing someone. With all your heart. Missing someone. With heart. Missing someone. I am sad and so lonely. I am sad and so lonely.
So there we are. Gather, come join. One man went to know. It is your man, not your boy. One man went to know. So matters arising, matters Nigeria related. Click here. Let's just do the hyperlink. So click here if you want to join live on screen. So click here if you want to come join live on screen. That is if you are unlike me, you're not well, if you're not out enjoying the weather, is what I was trying to lead to with that, which is something I should be doing as well. But here I am sat in front of your screen. So if you're there in front of your my screen, then click on the hyperlink, come join me live on screen. So say hello as you are coming in. Nigeria Matters, nothing changes. So to that space we'll be spending most of the day. I will be referencing the goings on in Lagos just to catch up with it, but that will be the main thrust of the evening session. So we'll save that till later on in the day. But nevertheless, matters Nigeria related is what we're discussing. So I'm starting to ramble. So let me go straight into exactly what is let me go straight into what the session is all about. I should say I'm trying to decide which story to bring you first as I'm speaking. That is why I'm not cohering as I should. But let's go to this story first. So this is to that Twitter space still and Malami's threat of jailing everybody that goes on Twitter. So draconian, but really. Can he apply it in real time is the question. It looks as though he spoke on the hoof and is having to retrace his steps. The Attorney General of the Nigerian Federation. So it looks as though now matters have escalated beyond his own control, because this has an international dimension and it has to thread carefully. And you also have to remember that he's now making this comment off the back of people like Pastor Adeboye continuing to tweet, and Pastor Kumoye continuing to tweet, and El Rufai being cited on Twitter. And even he himself, the Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, he was cited using a VPN to access his Twitter, if only to disable it, but nevertheless, he accessed it after the country had placed a ban on it. So all of that converges into now this headline. Confused Nigeria's Attorney General Malami makes U-turn, says no arrest prosecution of Twitter users. So there's a ban on Twitter, but there will be no enforcement of it. And if people carry on using Twitter, then of course, the government is not going to do anything about it. It's essentially what is being said here. So what purpose does the ban serve? As again, confused Nigeria's Attorney General Malami makes U-turn, says no arrest prosecution of Twitter users. So now let's now see exactly what the confused Malami has to say. Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami has backtracked on his move to prosecute Nigerians who make use of Twitter, despite the suspension of the micro-blogging site by the Nigerian government. There have been reports that Malami had directed the arrest and prosecution of people who defied the Twitter ban. But since the ban, many Nigerians have been using Twitter with the help of private virtual private networks, VPNs, with some even sharing details online so that more people could access the microblogging website. A number of clerics have also defied the ban by tweeting, and the list includes the General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Pastor Enoch Adeboye, and the General Superintendent of the Deeper Life Christian, of the Deeper Life Ministry, the Deeper Christian Life Ministry, Pastor Williams Kumuyi. However, Malami denied he ever ordered the arrest and prosecution of those using Twitter despite the ban. He also denied that the government would go after religious leaders for tweeting. But what he probably forgot was that the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, confirmed that he had directed the arrest and prosecution of those still using Twitter. In an interview with BBC Africa Focus last Monday, whilst responding to a question about Adeboye's violation of the ban, the Minister of Information and Culture, Mohammed, said, "The Attorney General has made it clear that if anyone violates the regulation, that such person will be prosecuted. I think it is right of the Attorney General to decide who to prosecute." The government has suspended indefinitely the operations of Twitter in Nigeria because of the persistent use of the platform for activities that are capable of undermining Nigeria's corporate existence. After also directed, sorry, let me take that again. The government has suspended indefinitely the operations of Twitter in Nigeria because of the persistent use of the platform for activities that are capable of undermining Nigeria's corporate existence. And the government also directed the National Broadcasting Commission to immediately commence the process of licensing all social media operations in Nigeria, he also said during the interview. However, Malami made a U-turn, saying the government would not go after Twitter users, but rather go after people and companies that enable Twitter to circumvent the ban. Speaking to correspondents on Thursday, Malami said, "It is within their guaranteed fundamental rights to tweet from anywhere in the world. Nigeria being a democratic nation cannot stop its citizens from exercising freedom of expression. But our position on Twitter is clear." So it's telling us that their position on Twitter is clear. But then, of course, how clear can it be? He has to be fair to us, really, because their position was clearly indefinite ban one day, and then 24 hours later, temporary ban, and then 24 hours later, we're looking to lift the ban. So as clear as mud, really. But our position on Twitter is clear. Anyone, whether individual or corporate institution that enables Twitter to circumvent the ban the federal government of Nigeria placed on the company will be prosecuted. Our statement outlining our position on June 1, 2021 did not ask the PDP to prosecute Nigerians using Twitter or any social media platform to express their views, but we are going to use the legal instruments at our disposal to go after those who aid and abet Twitter to continue to threaten our corporate existence as a nation. It is clear from the barrage of insinuations and falsehood being orchestrated by some Nigerians and those trying to change the clear position of the government of Nigeria to suit their whims and caprices and to whip up sentiments to hoodwink the people that they are up to some mischievous and sinister game which the government will not condone. At no time did we threaten any religious leaders for using Twitter to express themselves. Neither did we indicate in any way that we're going after them, but mischief makers were quick to mention names of religious leaders and give the impression that we're already in court with them. So on and on it goes. Let me just give you the last two paragraphs. Let it be made clear that the Buhari administration, being a people-centered government that relies on the rule of law, will never adopt any policy or program that seeks to add pain or injury to the very people who elected it to serve them. For the record, let it be made amply clear that the Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, is not after any Nigerian tweeting from Nigeria or anywhere in the world, but that any Nigerian company or entity that gives a helping hand to Twitter to escape the ban placed on it will be dealt with. So carry on tweeting, essentially, is what Abubakar Malami is telling us now. But then, of course, that wasn't what he was threatening on BBC via his spokesperson, the Minister of Information, Lai Mohammed. So let's go on to the next bit now. This is to the insecurity space, and Buhari is insisting that he has made Nigeria a secure place. Insecurity, be fair to me, I am not doing badly. Buhari is the one speaking to Nigerians, so this is what he's telling us. So that Fulani headsman that is ravaging, never mind all that. Be fair to me, Buhari says, I am not doing badly. A headline attributed to the Aboki in Aso Rock, Malam Buhari. So now let's now see now what Omamala has to say. President Muhammadu Buhari has urged Nigerians to be fair to his administration. Buhari made the remark whilst frowning at some accusing him of double standards with regards to pampering bandits and terrorists in the north, whilst going hard on the southern part of the country. Speaking to Nigerians on NTA, the president said those accusing him of double standards are being unfair. The president insisted that his administration has not performed badly. According to Buhari, well, I want Nigerians to be fair to this administration. They should reflect seriously on the time we came in, especially as far as the Northeast and the South is concerned. Where we are now, resources, how much we are producing, the previous administration before us were producing 2.1 million barrels of petroleum at $100 per barrel. When we came in, militants in the South were unleashed on this administration, and production went down to 500,000 barrels per day, and then in the market, the oil price collapsed. I would like Nigerians to reflect on these terms of, in terms of resources in the time, and I believe we have not done badly. So we have not done badly. Buhari will have it. So Igo, I see you. Victor, I see you too. But before I come to you, let's just let me drum you in with some heavy beats from Yoruba land. So Victor, this is especially for you. I know how much you love your Yoruba music. So Victor, put your dancing shoes on. So there we are, Victor. That's for you. Good, Victor. Good to see you. How you doing? Why you not? Why you not out rioting and demonstrating like any decent Nigerian?
Well, some will be in the fields while some are at the backroom office.
There you go.
I chose to be at the backroom for now.
For personal reasons.
Yes, for strategic reasons.
Yeah, exactly. How are you today, my friend?
I'm doing all right, one man. How is everything going?
Yeah, everything is good. So BUHARI is telling us that Nigeria is a lot better now in terms of security, and to be fair to him, and Malami is making a U-turn now with regards to his pronouncement that he was going to jail everybody, because what he's now saying is he's not going to arrest anybody for using Twitter, and he's not asking anybody not to use Twitter under their freedom of expression. So what is it, in effect, he's saying all he's going to do is go after anybody that is enabling Twitter to operate within the Nigerian space. So I'm not quite sure that...
and who possibly can actually enable Twitter to operate? Who possibly?
Well, I think he's talking about the telecoms company or whatever, that whoever, or the VPN companies, I imagine, but he's essentially saying, because one after the other, all these big name pastors, etc., they are using Twitter. Big name politicians are using Twitter, and they've just ignored the ban essentially and gone and bypassed it. Yeah.
What I think is we've been 6 years into this administration, all right? We've not died yet. I think we can actually try to just survive the remaining 2 years, you know, and then where I will really give up on this country is after this remaining 2 years, and we still go back, like we still don't get it enough, or we still don't have a direction where we're going, then that would be so unfortunate for this country, you know. I don't believe in people. If you are performing, just perform. Allow people to judge you based on whatever parameters they want to use. Stop suggesting to people what angle what parameters they will judge you with. I don't think that's becoming fair.
Exactly, you write exams and you mark yourself in the as well. You write exams. So will you not give yourself 100%? Imagine, I mean, what sort of a nonsense is that?
Let them stop thinking that we don't know how much fuel price sells. We don't know how much is pump price. We don't know what crude sells or whatever. Let them not think we don't know all that. We know all that, and with that in mind, we still have to make our judgments. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter whether they have to point those things out for us. I think we already can see that, and we are saying, in spite of all these things, that we think more can be done. You know, we don't need to be told what and what to judge you with.
Are you saying essentially, Victor, that people should pipe down for this guy and just allow him to just do his remaining 2 years and just get out of there? Did you hear that, Victor? Oh yeah.
See, yes. I think a lot of effort has been made to let these people know where it is actually affecting we, the people on the street, and they are not getting it. They are trying, and that is where the problem is. You're not letting us tell you how it's affecting us. You're just letting us know where we have to judge you from. And I think it's an irredeemable situation. We just have to wait it out and then choose for ourselves which direction we want to go. I don't think they're ready to. They're not listening.
No, you see, I take that point that people should just not pay the ultimate sacrifices, especially with their lives, because this guy has 2 years left. So let's just ease him out and then get him out of the way. But really, what people are saying is, look, it doesn't really matter if this guy has 2 years left or 20 years left. If this guy, if we ease him out one, he's going to choose his successor too. And whoever succeeds him is not going to be any different from what this guy is. So unless we assert ourselves at some point in that country to say, no, this is what the people want, it doesn't really matter if it is Buhari there or anybody else there. All we'll ever get is what we're getting now. You know, somebody looking down on top of you with your own resources and your money, looting everything and just barely putting 1% in and then waging war against the people all the time. So irrespective of when Buhari is leaving, is it really the system that needs to change? And people at that point now.
Exactly. You remember last time when we were talking about the Fadambaka issue, and I brought a different analogy to it, where I told you I love priests, religious, who fend for themselves, like who have a source of earning that is different from church offerings. You understand? Because our society is already becoming more of it's an upside down situation where a servant is now being served, just like the pastors, the congregation contribute money to take care of somebody who is actually supposed to be at their own service. So the congregation is taking care of one person. The same way Nigeria is actually taking care of people who they have employed. Like Nigeria is
the sense of entitlement of those that example that you used. I'm not sure if you saw the clip of one female pastor that it was her birthday and people were not donating enough money and she was raining curses on them, etc. But certainly you saw the clip of the French Prime Minister when he was slapped when he was walking about. So reflect on that and apply it to your state governor. Imagine your state, not even Buhari, imagine your state governor walking down the road and somebody slaps him.
No, the person is dead. The person is just dead.
Immediately and right there on that spot, he's dead.
The person is dead.
The last thing you would do on earth.
It's just as easy as jumping into a moving trailer now. That's just the same thing, you know. So that whole analogy, that whole concept of the people contributing to take care of those other the people in government is what is killing this. Like this office is so attractive that people will want to kill for it. And it's actually, that's where when you start thinking about the Nigerian issues, you start having this sense of hopelessness, this idea of just that's when you stop blaming people for choosing whichever way they choose.
What is that song? Water come to me, I. When you think of Nigeria, water come to me, I. This is the state. It's water come to me, I.
it's just a hopeless situation. You know,
Maybe
when
they
you're
should
explaining.
maybe they should change the national anthem to that song. But that come to me. But sorry, carry on, Victor. Yeah.
And now it's just like I had wanted to draw your attention to something. You see, these people, the level of lies is becoming bigger and bigger by the day. You know, you were you able to see the governor of Ebonyi State advising Autumn to have a security outfit like the Ebubago that they had, that they have in the southeast, and few days later the chairman of the Ebubago himself comes to resign, that he has not been funded. Like, you begin to wonder, are these people just, are they just coming out here to just lie, just keep us on the way, you know, and keep lying? And
no, I've not heard that story that you've especially narrated, but you can link that story to what Buhari was saying in that interview. It was using the analogy of the local government. So your state governor will come and collect 300 million naira for the local government, and then he will get to his state and he will gather the the local government chairman and ask them to sign for that 300 million, hand them 100 million, and that is 200 million gone. And then, of course, those state chairmen will still steal their own. So by the time it gets to the people, maybe 20, 30 million. So that chairman of that Ibubeagu that is saying that he has not been paid, that is not to say that the money for him has not been released. They would have shared it, of course, which is what usually happens. So nothing really changes. But I wanted you to speak to the Twitter space with Malami making a U-turn now that, you know, because but before you speak to that space, let me bring you this additional narrative, and then you speak to the two of them together. So Malami is now making a U-turn to say that he's not going to prosecute any individual, and Nigerians can continue to tweet because it is their it is covered under their freedom of expression, which was not what he said prior and not what Lai Mohammed said on BBC. But now he has made that U-turn. But then in addition to that U-turn, they continue to go after Twitter. So Victor, I bring you this. Twitter refused to delete Nnamdi Kanu's tweet, calling us monkeys in zoo, despite our pleas. So this is now the reason really why they are going after Twitter, because Nnamdi Kanu called them monkeys in a zoo. So that has hurt their feelings, because they are so delicate flowers, you see, the delicate flowers that we have in government in Nigeria. Twitter refused to delete Nnamdi Kanu's tweet calling us monkeys in a zoo, despite our pleas. Headline attributed to the federal government. So now let's now see now what the latest installment is. The federal government has listed the failure of Twitter to take down offensive tweets of separatist leader Nnamdi Kanu, amongst other sins, as the motivation behind shutting down access to the popular microblogging site in Nigeria. Speaking on state-owned broadcaster NTA on Friday, the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, revealed other transgressions by the sorry, bear with me 1 second. Let me just because I'm hearing a bit of sound from you, Victor. So speaking on state-owned broadcaster NTA on Friday, the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, revealed other transgressions by the Twitter against the Nigerian government. Mohammed alleged that Twitter and its founder, Jack Dorsey, have made several attempts to destabilize the country. The minister said that Twitter had become a platform of choice for separatist groups to carry out their agenda. Specifically, the minister said the platform was used consistently to promote activities that would lead to the collapse of Nigeria. He said Mr. Kanu, who lives in Europe, had been using Twitter to direct people to attack the symbols of Nigeria's sovereignty. Mr. Mohammed said Mr. Kanu, the leader of outlawed indigenous people of Biafra IPOB, used that platform to direct his supporters to attack policemen, military men, barracks, and INEC offices, amongst others. Before its suspension, we made several pleas to them to remove the tweets where Nigeria is being described as a zoo, where all of us are described as monkeys. We also pleaded to Twitter to delete the tweet where he said that if a Nigerian soldier... Sorry, who's that? Bear with me. All right. Sorry, somebody's voice just came in there. Yeah, sorry, bear with me. Yes, we also pleaded to Twitter to delete the tweet where he said that if a Nigerian soldier enters into Biafra, it is death. Twitter, however, said that those tweets did not offend their rules. It gets out of hand when attacks on police and military formations, police and army officers became unabated, and we said at this point we will need to suspend their operations. Mr. Mohammed added that the mission of Twitter and its founder, Jack Dorsey, was suspect as they sponsored the EndSARS protest, which almost destabilized the country and led to the death of many, including destruction of public and private properties. He said his, sorry, I think that might all be ego that I'm hearing from. Yeah, it is ego. Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah, there it is. He said his assertion was based on published investigation by an online newspaper. The online media concluded that on October 14, 2020, Dorsey actually retweeted some of the posts by some of the coalitions supporting EndSARS protest. On the same day, he launched a fundraiser asking people to donate via Bitcoin. On October the 16th, 2020, Dorsey launched another emoji to make EndSARS protest visible on the microblogging website. On October the 20th, 2020, he retweeted the tweets of some foreign and local supporters of EndSARS. If you ask people to donate money via Bitcoin for EndSARS protesters, then you are vicariously liable for whatever is the outcome of the protest. The minister maintained the ban on Twitter because it deleted Buhari's tweets was false. He said the government was unambiguous that the action was taken because the platform was being used to promote the views of those who want the country to be divided. On the timing of the suspension, the minister said the government had the right to determine when and where to make pronouncements on policy and action affecting the corporate existence of the country. So, Victor, so that is just, what is his name? Lai Mohammed on NTA, just, you know, all manners of made up nonsense and whatever it is that he was saying, but to that space, Victor.
Yes, let me, I don't know. There is this thing that makes me feel like they are not really thinking these things through. All right. If you are basing one of your reasons for banning Twitter on Nnamdi Kanu, do you actually know how relevant you are making that guy?
Yeah, you know, they don't.
You understand?
They don't get it. I mean, you are
creating a bigger problem for yourself. Mentioning his name alone. Do you know how many people are going to just check him out for just mentioning his name? You know, for a government of a country, mentioning one person's name, you know, as one of your bases for judging Twitter. If these people understand, let them stop dwelling, let them stop measuring in minor, let them face the real issues. In the first place, if there were running water and everything, and if people were seeing progress, that will be one of the biggest issues or one of the biggest problems that Nnamdi Kanu will face. Because when there is steady progress, there will be steady conversion of people who didn't believe in this country to start believing in the country. And before you know it, these agitations will go.
Sorry, Victor, what you said is exactly right, because they have gone to list all of the things that they are accusing Jack Dorsey of, that they are essentially accusing him of sponsoring of sponsoring NSAS, that he was responsible for NSAS and all manners of things. So Jack Dorsey, what he does is, if something is popular with the people, he will endorse it. So it is nothing personal to Nigeria. And if the Nigerians are saying that stop police brutality, then of course somebody like Jack Dorsey will endorse it. So that is fine. So rather than go after Jack Dorsey to attack him, why don't you
stop police brutality?
And that is it. So it's just the ridiculousness. And you are right that they've called Nnamdi Kanu an outlaw, and yet they are complaining that he called them monkeys, and he has hurt their feelings. And what is going on? This is what the Minister of Information is saying, that Nnamdi Kanu hurt his feelings.
And the whole back and forth with Nnamdi Kanu makes him all the more very, very much relevant. He makes people want to listen more to him. Because
they have elevated him now to the level of the government. Because if they are saying treat us like for like, treat the government in the same way you treat Nnamdi Kanu, then they are, by that argument, saying that Nnamdi Kanu,
that's where sometimes when I see these things, I'm like, who is advising them? What if for whatever thing they want to do, can't they just take the name of that guy out of their mouth?
You are saying who is advising them, but I ask that question almost on a daily basis. Is there a brain in Aso Rock that functions? But you are in Nigeria. What is the reading from this NSAS protest? Is anything happening? Are they achieving any success? What is going on? Is it making the news?
Well, definitely. I've been reading and watching online some arrests being made and all that. But to me, I wish this government would do one cheap thing. And that cheap thing is to really engage the people. Honest engagement. Like, come to the people. Okay, we understand. Okay, the simple thing. Give timelines, all right? From this time to this time, we will do this. From this time to this time, we will do this. The reasons why we will do this from this time to this time is that the funds are not available, or that time lapse, or give your reasons, but give clear communication to the people. We are reasonable people. We understand. When you start treating everybody like miscreants, a country that calls its own miscreants and hoodlums, I wonder how you want to get reason out of them. If you treat them like human, even if they are truly miscreants, I think sometimes good treatment can even provoke some remorse in people. Like, you can't be in the ring with somebody who doesn't want to fight. So if you actually make somebody try to reason with you, they at least you get the greater percentage of people to your side. The government, it looks like as though the government is on this side while the people is on the other side, and it shouldn't be. It should be a movement towards one direction, and that's the problem. That's what I yearn for this country. Like, let the government and the people be on the same page. When the people tell you that police is brutalizing them, make honest inquiries. Try, even if, like, don't try to shut people up. That's the biggest thing that happens in this country, shutting people up. And that is, I don't know for how long that will continue, my brother.
But that is the Nigerian way, though, unfortunately. And if we have a soldier man as the president, then really, do we have? Can we, in any fairness, have any different expectation? If we have a president like Buhari, can we in any honesty have any expectations different from what we are seeing at the moment is really the question. But
unless his advisors are all military. Unless his advisors are all military. If his advisors are not military, they can let him this side. I think we shouldn't trade this angle or it will look extreme or so. You understand? He has advisors. Let them. Democracy is there for everybody. We all studied it even in secondary school, so we know the basic background of what democracy should be. Freedom of the press is one of the characteristics of democracy. Periodic elections. So we all know these things, and that's why it's hard to convince anybody that you are doing something constitutional when you are not. It's very hard to convince a Nigerian that you're doing something constitutional when you're not, because we all know what it looks like.
All right. Thank you, Victor. I was holding you to that spot really to download this. So, engineer, this is what is going on in Kano State. What this, engineer?
Must to go. BUHARI must to go. Malami must to go. Pantami must to go. BUHARI must to go. Malami must to go. BUHARI must to go. BUHARI must to go. BUHARI must to go. BUHARI must to go.
So, engineer, that is Kano State. Buhari must go. Buhari must go. And I could have just gone to any other state and picked it up. So, activities going on as we speak, but what level of success we'll find out in the course of the day. And of course,
right here in Lagos, they are met with canopies and they are met with what you call water cannon and
tear
guns,
gas.
Tear gases and all that. They are in Carnival in a park right here in Lagos right now. I speak to you, and the police are really after them. Tear gases everywhere, people running up and down. It's going on right now. Now as I'm speaking to you.
I saw some clips of that, but it was too violent for me to show that. So, but to engineer, so what Igor has said plus what you have seen, so they are rioting in Ajota and the police are doing their usual shoot at them. So they are rioting in Kano, but it looks as though that is a peaceful procession. But so how far reaching this thing, we'll find out in the course of the day. But engineer, what is your first assessment of that and the narrative that we are bringing? Malami doing a U-turn on this now Twitter ban to say that it's not going to prosecute anybody, and Lai Mohammed complaining to BBC complaining to Twitter via BBC interview that Nnamdi Kanu called him a monkey, and that has hurt his feelings because he's such a sensitive little guy. So with that, I'm Buhari telling us that the security situation in the country has improved. So, engineer, good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you. Good afternoon, everyone. And when you come to Malami issue, I keep saying this: these people, they're empowered. They know what to do. They have the English to say. They have everything to control in Nigeria, because banning Twitter do this, Twitter do that is completely rubbish. Because if you look at it, it's one cycle. I always say it's one cycle people that are there to be rotating the money in between themselves. And when you come to the Lai Mohammed, if you're a genuine man and you don't behave like monkey, why is that word killing you or disturbing you? You understand? Because when you come to reality, let's be honest to ourselves. If today you give job in that country, everything is functioning well. Let me start from there will be nothing like Odudua agitation. There will be nothing like Biafra agitation, because the people are hungry. The people are hungry. The stress is too much. How can somebody who go to university in Odudua land and go to university in Biafra land, and you came out, come on, no job, you're still struggling, you have a kid, the kid will be looking at you, you eat 1 square meal a day, you'll be thinking what will happen tomorrow. So if for Lai Mohammed to come out and said Nnamdi Kanu call him monkey, to be honest, if you look at it, I don't see any harm in it. If you create that job opportunity,
be fair now. But be fair now, engineer. He hurt his feelings now. You know, it's not nice now.
Yeah,
maybe even made him cry. Maybe he made him cry. Do you know if he made him cry?
If he behaved like human being,
when he called him a monkey and he made him cry.
If he behaves like human being, if you behave like human who value another human, nobody will call you monkey. Let's face the reality.
It's just the most ridiculous thing. He called you monkey. And he called you monkey, and then you ban Twitter. This is Nigeria now.
You know, it's sad. How can leaders will be facing one man, not you though. Leaders will be facing Nnamdi Kanu for just verbal words. You understand? So that means
what Victor was also saying is that by them referencing him, we are talking about the biggest black democracy on the planet, and wanting Twitter to treat one individual the same as them. So they are elevating him now to like almost the equivalent of the government, because if they are saying treat us like you are treating Kanu, then you are drawing a parallel all the way there.
Yeah, but the thing is, what you need to understand, Kanu is just an ordinary man of his own. Then they are Nigerian representative. You understand? They are in power. So why are they arguing with someone that is just on his own? That means he is right. Whatever he's saying against them, he is right. If today they fix, if today there's food, there's electricity in that country, there's good road, there's companies, people are working, believe me, nobody will attack these people. Nobody will say things about them.
People will be too busy now. If you are up and doing, you have your Monday to Friday 9 to 5, and then you only have the weekend to take your child to the park, and the road is there to drive to the park. There's security everywhere. There's food, and you have your job. If somebody is saying you should come and riot, you're thinking, what am I? You won't even hear it. You know, you won't even hear it.
You can use the word monkey to the man. If anybody can say that to go and do riot, then you say you're a monkey.
You call him a monkey, exactly.
It's vice versa. It's vice versa.
Yeah, thank you, engineer. It's going to be a short one this time around, so I just whisked through. So, evolution, we see you. So to the space, Lai Mohammed complaining that Nnamdi Kanu called him a monkey and that Jack Dorsey did not do anything about it. The Attorney General Abubakar Malami now makes a U-turn, saying that he would no longer arrest and prosecute people using Twitter. BUHARI are telling us that the country is now secure under him, and we should be fair to him. And then, more importantly, the activities of today. You saw the clip that I played for Victor, but let me play you this clip because it looks as though now this activity is all over the place. Mr. Macaroni joins in. You are doing well. You are doing well. This is what he's saying.
There are some pro-BUHARI supporters, some pro-government supporters saying, say Baba, we love what he's doing. Why are those ones not disturbing the peace? And why can't the protest there be hijacked? What is the job of the police if they cannot safeguard a protest? It is shameful for you to even be saying that it will be hijacked. Because the job of the police is to safeguard protest. It is a fundamental human right to protest. So if the government cannot protect our fundamental human right, then by all means they have failed. They have failed.
Okay, so a fundamental right under the right to free expression is essentially what Mr. Macaroni is saying. But then let me also show you what is going on in Kanu. So that is Kanu, but then with Kanu, add on Akure, Let me actually, because there's a list of places that activities are going on at the moment. This is just what is being picked up. Let me, but bear with me. Yeah, so there's Lagos, Abuja. So it's going on in Abuja as well. It's going on in Akure, Ogun State. Makurdi, it is going on. So so on and on it goes. So the entirety is going on even in Canada, even
in London. Yes, it's going on in Nigerian House in London. Going on in the Parliament, the British Parliament. Nigerians are there protesting.
There you go. So,
but I mean, let me start with the monkey.
But be careful, oh, you know Lai Mohammed is sensitive, so don't hurt his feelings. So we don't want him to go to the corner to start crying again. No, that they called him a monkey and then he deleted Twitter from Nigeria. Imagine that.
I know, but if they had ignored Nnamdi Kanu wouldn't have called him monkey. But you went after him and he called you monkey, and you're now complaining. Nnamdi Kanu has been there. Well, the truth of the matter is this. If you put yourself up for public service, you ought to know that people would criticize your actions and that people would call you name. It goes with the terrain. Do I support Nnamdi calling somebody a monkey? No. But does he have a right to call someone a monkey? Yes, he does. And I mean, public officers in Nigeria must get that into their head. Then, generally speaking,
evolution. Yeah. If we're getting this reaction that Nnamdi Kanu called them monkeys and then they are banning Twitter in Nigeria, what would happen if somebody did what they did to the French president Macron? What if somebody had slapped him? Because
it is not just the French president. Remember when George Bush, the American president, went to Iraq and someone threw
slippers at him.
Slippers at him. So I mean, if you are in the public space, the same way on this forum, Elena is always insulting me. I cannot say that I mean, if I don't want to be insulted, then I shouldn't come up to air my opinions. But once you are talking in the public space, you must expect to take hits from different directions. But besides, I want us to realize that words are words. We cannot be too sensitive to words. People, any little thing, people take offense. Why should you tell me that? Why should you do? Why? No, things don't work that way. Freedom of expression is absolute, complete, and total, in my own opinion. There shouldn't be gray areas. Particularly, I mean, you are free to criticize whatever you think is not good. Even if you are making a fool of yourself doing that, you should be allowed to make a fool of yourself. Take, for instance, the imbeciles that are saying Buhari has done well. Even the ignoramus himself, he is free to make a fool of himself by saying that Nigeria is now more secured under him. It is a foolish talk, and he has every right to be foolish.
But really, is that not almost a mocking statement? When we can all see what is going on in this space, and it's telling us that the country is more secure, etc., etc., when a new dynamic has been introduced, because we were never really contending with headsmen under Goodluck Jonathan, so we still have Boko Haram there, and we have, in addition, headsmen, and you are telling us we are better off. I mean, is it not almost like mocking? That's almost like a mocking statement, isn't it?
The man is an imbecile now. I mean, the man he's a mad dog. Honestly, really, I mean, he is a mad dog, and he nothing he says makes any sense. anytime he speaks, you wonder if I honestly think that he needs to get his head re-examined.
But the thing is, it's good to hear him talk now, especially over these last few days. But it is alarming to hear what he has to say, because what he has to say has been consistent with the way this particular regime has been running. Because we don't hear much from him, we are thinking people are acting outside of his will, and is confused and is in bed somewhere because he's too ill to think properly. But now that we're hearing the word from his own mouth, we're seeing that exactly what has been happening for the last 6 years is exactly how he would want it, and he would even want it more extreme. If we are going off the back of what he said about the Southeast, then he even wants more extremism rather than less. When you say, so this is the thing. But to that space, Abubakar Malami now making a U-turn, saying that he's not going to now prosecute anybody using Twitter, but the telcos is what he's going to go after. So, you know.
Have you not noticed a pattern with this government? The consistent pattern is the government would say something. Within a few days, they would come back and say, oh, we were misquoted, we did not mean it that way, blah, 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 blah. But on the Malami and the Twitter thing, I mean, it is ridiculous. How many people are you going to prosecute? It is not even, it is shameful. I am ashamed when I think that someone as dumb as Malami is the Attorney General of this country. It is shameful. And why do we keep on having imbeciles as Attorney Generals? Attorney Generals have always given us issues in this country. All of them. We've never had an outstanding Attorney General. And the NBA is not even doing anything about it. Besides, it is time we split the office of the Attorney General from the office of the Minister of Justice.
To create more bureaucracy, do we really need to create even more bureaucracy?
Can I just say something there, please?
Go on. Hold on, let engineer come in here.
See, we are making a mistake here. I keep saying this. We are always making a mistake. Look at what BUHARI said. If he released 3 billion or 3 million, at the end of the day, how much the other people will sign and it is going to get up to everybody will be 1 million. Let's start from the leaders from every state. I would love youth, the way they come at this time. They should come out for the governors like this. If they can't fix the state, every state, Absolutely. They should go.
I agree with engineer. I agree with him.
Yeah, but it is also still
cannot be just about.
Hold on. No, but it still comes to BUHARI now, because if BUHARI has identified that is an issue, then he should fix it. You know, if he has identified that there's that loophole there for the governors just stealing the money from the local government people, then he should fix it. If he's claiming that it is the people that voted him in, and he feels that the people are being shortchanged and they're being stolen from, then he should fix it.
But I believe if people should come out and protest for every governor in Nigeria as a whole, if they report that issue to BUHARI will expose them. That's why BUHARI don't care about Nigerians anymore. Because if you look at it from the other way around, I give these people money to take care of their state. Have they done it? They failed to do it. So why are there people coming after me? This is what is happening if you look at it technically.
Yes, but what I am saying, engineer, is if BUHARI has identified that is a problem and he is the president of Nigeria, Nigeria being a third world country and resources being siphoned, then he should block those loopholes. Whatever it is that people are using to steal from the people, he as the president should block it. And then,
but the people have to start. The people have to start the revolution. Because if you can remember, there was a video my former governor said, Rotimi Amechi, he clearly said this thing, that one day when people will start coming after us as the governors, that's when we'll realize that there's a problem. Because now nobody is going after no government, asking them that question. Rather, the government, they are using that method now. The government, they believe that people are after Buhari. That's what is happening. But what have they been doing with the funds of every state? That's the question. It's an open question.
Even Dino Melaye said that as well, that that the masses will get to that point when they will just start coming into their houses and pulling them out on the streets and just tearing them apart limb by limb. And I think
if they can do that, I'm telling you, Nigeria will be fixed.
This is what we are saying now. The build up to that now is what we are seeing playing out in the public space. Thank you, Prof. We see you at an unusual time of the day. But where is your? We've seen engineer's daughter. So, but you are in the office, I can see. So, engineer's daughter's birthday is coming up, by the way. So everybody gets their wallets ready. Okay. Prof, we see you. What says you to the narrative?
Okay, yeah, good day to everybody. I know it's unusual seeing me here. I'm at work. Now, I think let me start with the aspect of Lai Mohammed being, will I call it, Nnamdi Kanu saying they're monkeys. See, you see, that Lai Mohammed, he should tell himself the truth. Like as engineer said, he has monkey trends. See, monkeys jump from tree to tree. See, they jump from tree to tree. Sometimes not even looking for bananas. Just that is their tree to tree in the bush, moving around, doing nothing. He is on seat doing nothing, rather hunting the progress of Nigeria. Instead of him to bring about information that will transform the country to move forward, he's not doing it. So, you see, that comment is valid. Say I say so, it is valid. These people on seat should do something to improve things. This is not a matter of gun. See demonstration going on in Japan. The Oduduwas are doing serious demonstration, protests. All they know is to see how they can shut the protest. That will not help matters. It's not going to help matters. I don't know why. I say something. Is as if this government they just have a queue of qualified quacks. That's the queue of quacks in government. That is what we have there. Every day, change things, improve matters.
Be careful, or you are calling them quacks, and now the Kanu is calling them monkeys.
Yes.
If you are not careful,
you see,
Lai Mohammed can come and ban you too.
Okay.
You know how sensitive, you know.
I know.
We should only say nice words. To say they are wonderful, this is what you should be saying.
No, see, these people are not wonderful.
You know, but you know how sensitive they are now. Hey, they call you monkey and you ban. They call you monkey and you ban Twitter.
Yeah, so you know that's what I have to say. You know, they should just see how they change things. But outside that, you know, the things are coming worse. This is something they should sit down and negotiate. Think of how to move the country forward, but they haven't done that.
All right. All right, thank you, engineer. So we'll start rounding it off with the engineer's comment. So Victor, we'll take your comment.
Oh, well, what I think is maybe they will have to change an approach. They'll have to change approach, find a more an unconventional way of doing things. Maybe if they'll have to call a meeting of the whole state governors, and maybe the presidency, I'm not saying the president, the presidency, kneel down before them and beg them to please now, all of us.
But that is not even a joke, you know, because we've seen Joe Biden, the American president, take the knee. So we should see Buhari take the knee. So this is like the thing.
Situation is getting out of hand. I don't want to be the bad man here. Please now, help us now. If we give you money, give them now. You understand? Like, let's do the unconventional. But that is what leadership is about for me. You do what you have to do. Like, I must do whatever I have to do to provide for my kids. You know, when I listened to that interview of the president, I just felt like, is he blaming every other person apart from himself.
Mm.
You understand? Like, we all, even the citizenry, we all share the blame. Oh yeah, let's beg ourselves now. Let's move forward. Like,
you
the
know,
whole thing.
sorry, Victor. You know, in years to come, when people reflect back on this period, they will only say one thing. They will say the Buhari administration, the Buhari regime, because that is what people remember. They say, Babangida's regime, Abata's regime, Obasanjo's during Obasanjo's time. Nobody even remembers the governor of any state. Just 1999, nobody really, apart from Tinubu in Lagos, nobody remembers who the governors were under Obasanjo. They just remember that it was under Obasanjo's period. So nobody will remember who did what, when, and where under this particular dispensation. They will only remember that this was what happened under Buhari's administration. And the memory that we are going to have is blood on the streets and headsmen in the forest savaging people. This will be the memory that he leaves behind.
No, we should start dealing more with my last comment. Well, we should start dealing, start trying to get results and leave reasons out. The reasons are always related to failure. You give reasons why you failed. Results are your output. Let's work more on results and leave reasons and stop the blame game.
Thank you, Victor. Nothing succeeds better than success, is what Victor is telling us. Engineer, your words.
Yeah, it's just like I said, let's look at this now. Let's do the calculation or the formulation. A president was elected, and the president released the fund to the governors to the Senate, to the local vice, or whatever they call them. Now people are out there against Buhari. Buhari is disappointed with the governors because he believes maybe the governors are using the same people that he gave them money that they're supposed to control them, but which they're not doing it. And now people are against Buhari. But there's something that we are missing here. Buhari one day will come out. I'm telling you, before Buhari will finish, one day he will come out and expose every Nigerian government. He will say it clearly, people are against me, fine, but this is what I've been giving to them to take care of their own home. Have they do it? Which they haven't done nothing. So when people are accusing me, this is what I've been releasing to every state. I believe if Buhari come out and say this, people will now realize that, oh, something is wrong somewhere. Because I don't see reason why Buhari. Is it Buhari that always patrol in between your state with 4 or 5 cars with air conditioning inside? You know what I mean? So it's time for people to wake up. Stop thinking of.
Do you think Buhari can do more to stop that? What you've just described now. Do you think he should take responsibility to put an end to it? So if he's finding that these people is releasing the money, but then the people on the streets are not feeling the impact and they're blaming it on Buhari, should he then plug whatever, especially that security vote? Is the time now right for us to do away with all of these security votes, because we don't really know what purpose it serves, and just vest everything? Should the states now come to the federal government with a budget and a plan of action and say this and this are what we want to spend the money on, and then the government releases the money and supervises then directly those states to see how they are executing the projects that they're saying they want to do? Because all this releasing money to them now, it seems to be not the way to, it doesn't seem to work.
There is no progress. There's nothing like progress. Something you need to understand here. They gave you example with the NDDC. Come on. NDDC is like they photocopy the document after 4 years to go and present it to the leading governments. And if the leading governments, if they see the diary, okay, if they see the duplicated machine, duplicated paperwork, what they do, okay, is that what you guys want? We release the fund. That's it. They believe that.
Yeah, but that is where the problem is, though. You see, what I'm saying is they should interrogate it at that point. That did you not come for money for the same thing last year?
But what have you? Yeah. If you look at it, if you look at Buhari's age, the man don't need headache now. he is going. So he don't need headache.
You know what Babangida said once? Babangida said that being a president is the easiest thing in the world, that all you need to do is to appoint the right people in the right spot, give the right instructions, and then just go to the golf course and relax and just spend the way Trump was the president is really the way a president should be. You just spend all your time on the golf course because you give the right instructions and you put the right people in place to carry it out.
Simple, simple.
Yeah. But I thank you, engineer. It's just for reasons of time. Ego, let's hear from you. Have we got Ego?
Good afternoon, guys.
Good afternoon, Ego. Just on the spot assessment, you are in Nigeria. You are saying that it's kicking off in Lagos now as we speak. Police versus citizens. Yeah.
Even in Ibadan, as I speak to you right now, some of the southwest states, there are some level of protests going on right now. On the issue of Malami, turning back to say that they will not arrest anyone, you must understand that the decision that was taken in the first place was completely out of it. They all understood that they made a mistake. They even regret doing it because they now called the attention of the entire world to face Nigeria. So the world has turned their satellite now to Nigeria. They are now watching and listening to everything that is coming out of the country. So that's for one. It is the foolishness of them, the incompetency of them making decisions. That's what is wrong with Malami now. Not that they call him goat or whatever they call him monkey is the problem. I don't think that's the problem. It is the failure of them making better decisions is what is wrong with it. Moving on to the issue of development and country crying, people clamoring and shouting up and down, protests along the country. I want to agree with Professor, is he professor or engineer who just left? I once said it in this
engineer.
Place. I said Buhari is not, I'm a Buharist. I'm in one Nigeria. The Buhari is not our problem in this country. And people are beginning to key into that understanding and begin to know. Listen, the people that are destroying this Nigeria today are the 36 states governors of this Nigeria. They are the people destroying this country, not the Mr. President of this country. Nigeria failed to understand this. The way we used to holler Buhari, Buhari, as my brother was saying, if we turn our focus to these governors, you will be seeing difference. If your state must be developed and be better than Dubai, it's not Buhari that will come and do it for you because Buhari has given them money. It is the governors that will use their brain, create revenue generated, what do you call it, different kind of, attract business into the state and develop the state and also try to be, create some level of revenue in the state as well. These are what governors are supposed to be doing. Instead, when they go to collect money from Abuja, they share it and leave the people begin to complain to the Mr. President, which Mr. President has nothing to do about that, really, in the right sense. Yes, they say you should stop it. How can he do it? Of recent, they gave them the go-ahead to allow the local government to have the autonomy, which is the governors. The governors has refused that to happen till date. Look at what we are facing in this country. So we all should try to look at NDDC, Nigeria Delta Development one thing. Yeah, the whole of the South Side, they are just looking at that people. Any ND or whoever come there as the head, we just go there, steal your money and leave the place. And they are Sare Dokubo who call themselves this and that. They are watching and looking at those people, all those people in the South. The money that will go into the South and make the South a better place, they are stealing this money in the Niger Delta there. The entire South Side region, the governors are looking, they are putting the blames on Buhari. Buhari didn't do anything. We should hold our governors responsible. Only what we should do, what we should hold the president for as a president, in which I know that if he is head on that, if we concentrate on only that, it will be a better country. We have to hold the president to give us a perfect constitution of the people and electoral reform that we carry everybody along. These are the two things Mr. President is holding Nigeria. Nothing else, my brother. Mr. President is not having our money, it's our government that is having our money.
Do you not think that Buhari should strengthen the institutions in Nigeria to plug these loopholes that these people
If
are
you look
using
at the person,
siphon money.
the person that head the institution, you can see that he's not competent. Is it not Malami? You can see the way that guy communicates. He has nothing good to offer. If we have better minds there now, we can be talking of such things. This guy has no idea.
But we have good minds there, but they don't let those minds function. We have people like Yemi Osinbajo. Remember when Buhari was away sick, and Osinbajo was in charge, and the country was almost suddenly starting to look and sound like a country when he sacked Maman Daura for ruling.
We go.
So why don't they let him have more? Why don't they let him take on more as the vice president instead of sidelining him?
God bless you. That is where Buhari is going wrong, and that is where also the Yorubas are going wrong. Listen, I used to tell you something in this place. I say, if they put Tinubu and Yemi, I will choose Yemi. Listen, let me tell you, see that Yemi Osinbajo that is quiet. If they give that man this country to rule, this country will be better. Yemi Osinbajo is a quiet man.
Yeah.
They cannot control that man. Don't think he's afraid. Don't think that man is afraid, my brother. If they give that man this country to rule, that time you will know that they cannot control him. And he's going to do the right. That man will not be afraid of anybody and will not be afraid to make any decision in this country. If you take me now to the Southwest, the person I will pick for the presidency is Yemi Osinbajo. I will not pick any other. All those names to me, they are all nonsense. It's Yemi Osinbajo that I will back for the presidency.
And people like him, you know. The Northerners, they like him. And I don't think the Igbos, they don't hate him. And the Yorubas, they don't mind him. But it is not enough.
I say Yemi will win election. Osinbajo will win election in this country.
It is our turn. It is not the turn of
we are fair election.
Look at that. Turn by turn, Nigeria Limited. We're back there again. But thank you, Igo. No, let's go to no. I think it's evolution. It's just pulling your legs, I think. But thank you, Igo, reconvene. So evolution, you are already there. Turn by turn, Nigeria Limited. Also, your words.
That is your business. It is our turn, and you have to allow us provide governance. You should demand for. You should ask us to provide candidates.
I said Nigeria can never have an.
Evolution, that's the spirit.
I said Nigeria can never have an Igbo president, and Ada was so upset. She came on yesterday and gave me a good telling off for a good 1 hour. He was just telling me off.
That is your business. Well, meanwhile, I am in agreement with what people have been saying here, which is exactly the narrative I've been pushing from day one. And I will always give an example with the Emperor of the Southwest and his hold on finances of Lagos. Let me give you, P2B provided perfect governance. I mean, almost perfect governance. He was an excellent leader. Do you know that P2B's budget was 54 billion in a particular year? That same year, the budget of Ministry of Education of Rivers State was 70 billion under Meshi. Anambra State, with the including health, education, blah, 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 everything was 54 billion. Rivers State education alone had allocation of 70 billion. And if you look at Port Harcourt, if you look at Rivers, you will begin to wonder, so what did Amechi do with all these monies? What did Amechi do with all these monies? So it is still our governors. The imbecile there in my place now, Obiano, for 8 years, he provided negative governance. All he was doing was looting, stealing. Now, a few days to go, he has now channeled all the money left in building an airport project. As much as, regardless of your view on that airport, it is actually not the most important thing that we need. Because for an airport to be functional and for it to thrive, you need middle class. So instead of investing in that airport, he should have invested in increasing the number of middle class we have in Anambra State. We already have an airport in Asaba. By the time they finish the second Niger bridge, Asaba and Onitsha would collapse into one big metropolis. The elections are around the corner. The political process, what are we doing about it? What are the conversations that we are having? To move forward, we have to change leadership and get the right leadership. So please, one man, support the Southeast to produce the presidency, because
no,
it is our turn.
you know who my candidate is, Kingsley Moghalu, and until he tells me he's not running anymore, that will always be my candidate, because I'm a Kingsley Moghalu man. But thank you, Evolution. My wife is already telling me to get off the computer, so let me go quickly to Ovie.
Ovie, my man.
Yes, Ovie, let me bring you in properly with voices from Kanu.
Must to go. BUHARI must to go. Malami must to go. Pantami must to go. BUHARI must to go. Malami must to go. BUHARI must to go. BUHARI.
So, Ovie, it used to be Say Baba once upon a time in Kano State, but that is now the echoes coming out of Kano, and this is what Mr. Macaroni has to say about it.
Now, in Abuja, there are some pro-BUHARI supporters, some pro-government supporters saying, Say Baba, we love what he's doing. Why are those ones not disturbing the peace? And why can't the protests there be hijacked? What is the job of the police if they cannot safeguard a protest?
So just a bit of a sounding from the streets as it's developing within the space. So Via, just quick words, and then we reconvene in the evening.
That's a good lyrics. You just need somebody to put a hit to it to become the next item for the next election. I mean, I kind of agree with evolution and engineering.
Yeah.
And focusing on our immediate rather than focusing on the top. And I think you interjected by asking them, why can't BUHARI, either interrogate them or ask them, or BUHARI is not a dictator.
What?
BUHARI is not a dictator.
What are you? Come on, take those words back. What is it other than Abba? Ovie, you are overstepping. Abba, BUHARI is not a dictator.
Tell me, what does it?
If he was a dictator on call, he would open beheading in Eagle Square. I mean, what are you talking about?
BUHARI, you don't expect BUHARI to come to your house and tell you how to put your house.
BUHARI is not a dictator.
BUHARI is a civilian president.
Easy.
Is a civilian president.
All right,
elected, who is abiding by the constitution of the country.
All right.
He's not a dictator.
The federal character. Anyway, I know you are. I know you are trolling. I have known that you are trolling.
Again, and on that, good luck administration open everybody eyes to how money they work out for that country within their mix. Even my grandmother in the village knows billions there they share. Thanks to good luck administration. BUHARI administration, what we should focus on, what is this administration exposing to us? It's literally exposing to us that it takes a team to be president. Evolution was criticizing the Attorney General, how he doesn't understand how he become Attorney General. It's a team. That's why I say we should forget about that guy. He's already out. They are team. Every president comes with a team. Police chief, military chief, who becomes the Minister of Finance, who becomes the Interior Minister, all these things. That is the team that is coming. That's why when the president is coming, when these people are parading themselves, we should pay attention to people who are within that caucus. Because those are the people that are going to actually carry out the ambition of that man or the people who are bringing him in. That's what we should be focusing on. That's what I'm trying to draw attention. Forget about BUHARI. He's going. There's nothing we can do about that guy. Let nature answer our cry. At this point, it's over. From day one, where are all these protests and all these brought up before the second election, 2019? Again, every day we play into the hands of the elites. Every second. Now we're going to see protests, we're going to see rise from every nook and corner. Why? This man is going. will play again to the other sector of people who have worst ambition than this current administration. So that's what you are seeing. All this rally, whatever is again. I always talk and I won't stop saying this is the Yoruba way of getting the presidency.
Okay,
Exactly
and
what
just
evolution is saying.
okay, just really because we're rounding off. Just speak briefly to that space of Malami's U-turn. He's now saying he's not going to prosecute anybody for using Twitter because it's their freedom of expression, but it's just going to go after companies that facilitate for it in Nigeria. And Lai Mohammed belly aching and crying on a BBC that Nnamdi Kanu called him a monkey. So just speak briefly to that.
I talk on before, say this Twitter thing now antics. Now move to just distract everything. Where is the tension that was about constitutional review, constitutional succession? What is that tension? What's that hard discussion now? You don't follow Twitter. I said not distraction. Wait, how many people want put? I mean, this 21st century, man, information age with day. People will always find way to get information. I don't know why would they even before Twitter would they if Twitter know they give we go see find way, our way out. Now distraction be all these things. Let's focus on the important goal. Who are these people that are coming next? Malami, every day they will find something ridiculous and stupid deliberately just to keep us busy. And they are waiting. When I say Fulani no get Fulani no book, Fulani, but we fall into their foolishness every day. So who's not stupid among we and them?
Okay, Ovie, I have to come off before my wife comes and slaps me off the screen. So thank you, Ovie. We reconvene same time, same place. So that's Ovie, just a cameo appearance in this session, hopefully to come back and expand more on his thoughts in the evening session. So that has been the session. It's actually a lot longer than it usually is because I try to keep this under 1 hour. But then, of course, matters in Nigeria, you never really just condense it into just bite sizes. So, but the bite size has been delivered. But what are your commentaries is the question. Come share thoughts about all this with me in the comment section. I'll leave you here, carry the conversation on with you in the comment section. But I will leave you with the thoughts of nostalgia as we witness an Ooni of Ife visit London in all of his full regalia. So Tiwantiwa.
Àgbà kì í ṣòro bí